Hello everyone and welcome to yet another recreational programming session with le Monsieur Zuzin. So today I want you to do something that I want you to do for quite some time already. You see, I'm a huge proponent of actually documenting the library API right in the code of the library, right? And this is something that I quite often don't see in the libraries I review. For example, here some of the functions are not documented, but it's fine, they're going to be documented. Right, so a lot of libraries that I kind of review, right, I wouldn't call it a review, but people like to call it reviews, so whatever, it's a reviews. In all of my reviews, so I noticed a very interesting thing is that the library developers, they have the code of the library, they have the headers and stuff like that. And documentation for the functions is usually in a completely separate file in some sort of a format. You have to build this entire thing and it's kind of weird. Right, so isn't it better to document right in the source code? And if you want to extract a nice sort of like a document out of that, like just have a separate tool that analyzes the source code and just generates some docs for you. Why does it have to be two separate things when these things are related, right? So we have docs strings in Python, right? So we have this kind of stuff in Rust. It's basically an industry standard. It's an industry standard. So this is what I want to develop for this particular thing. There's already things like Doxygen for C++, but all of that shit is bloat. Bloat, slop, bloat, we're not going to be using that. Right, so what I want to do is a very simple tool. Like, I don't understand why such thing is not just like a single file that you compile with the C compiler, you run it on a file and it just generates your docs. There's literally no reason for that not being the case. Right, it's just like, yeah, and analyzing is actually super easy. I think we can do that. I think I want to make some sort of like a custom Autodoc tools for nob, right? So, and just like see how it goes, right? So sounds good, sounds Gucci, sounds Tamaguchi, let's fucking go. So the only thing we need to do, we need to write a program that loads the file into memory, analyzes the file line by line, finds documentation strings, and just extracts them, maybe puts them into some sort of a JSON, or maybe generates the HTML document out of that. That's very simple. It's just, there's nothing particularly special about that. It's just like analyzing the text. Just analyze the text. Just analyze the text. There's a lot of text analyzers, nothing particularly special. So let's go ahead and do that. How should we call this particular thing? This particular sort of like a Autodoc thingy. So there's tools already. So maybe I'm literally gonna call doc. So it's gonna be doc.c, and let's maybe include nob.h. All right, so, and we're going to just basically do the following thing. Documentary no doc do.c. Well, I mean, that's one way to call it. I want to call it doc.c, right? So it's just like, you know, very, very simple thing. Maybe we're gonna come up with a good name a little bit later. So let's do something like hello doc, right? So that's gonna be a new line. I suppose one thing we want to do in here is being able to build this entire thing, but the question is, yeah, this is purely for testing stuff, but maybe in here we can introduce another command, right? So command name, I put it into the command. So I'm using immediate command parsing that I explained some time ago, right? I implemented it for nob essentially. So essentially you just check the current command name, and if it's one of the commands, right, for example doc, I suppose it's not supposed to accept any parameters in here, right? So I'm not sure what to put in here, like a build doc tool. Maybe also we'll need to run it, but yeah, we're gonna do that a little bit later. So what I want to do in here, I want to actually build this entire thing. I'm gonna append into CMD. Do I even have a CMD anywhere yet? So here is the CMD. So it's gonna be CC. Though this is supposed to be like a cross-platform thing, so, and because of that, I think I have like a different builders for different platforms. There you go, look at that. If you are compile this entire thing with C++, we're going to be compiling the rest of the things with C++. So this is basically what we need to do in here. So nobcc, finally comment parsing in nob. It's not part of the nob, it's part of the tooling around nob. Right, so in a nob repository, there is a lot of different code that is not part of the library, but it's part of the infrastructure that runs on continuous integration and runs the tests and stuff like that. It's part of the infrastructure, but not part of the library. So don't get too excited about that. And I'm not even sure if I want to add this kind of parsing to nob, honestly, right? So because you may want to have different kinds of parsing, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to include that into the scope of nob. So that's what I'm saying. But anyway, so here is CMD. So this is basically the compiler that we're going to be using, nob cc flags. So this is the flags. And I suppose we need to have something like input, or maybe let's say output. And the output is going to be build folder, right? So in the build folder, we're going to have doc. So and what's going to be the input? I think the input is going to be inputs actually tool folder. Do we have a tools folder? We should have some sort of a tools folder. Where is the build folder defined? So if I take a look at the build folder, I can't find where is it defined. Just a second, chat. What the fuck is going on? So this is shared. Oh yeah, so there's only this kind of stuff. I think we need to introduce like a tools folder. So there should be some sort of a tools in here. Yeah, there we go. So then I can just use that. So so tools folder. So here's the tools folder, and this is a doc.c. So this is one of the inputs in here. And let's just go ahead and run this entire command, right? So it's going to be cmd. And if it failed for whatever reason, we're going to instantly return 1. That's about it. But otherwise, we're going to just return 0. So that should be it. If I just run this entire thing and say help, it's not going to even compile. Nice, because I forgot to put these things in here because I'm appending it to CMD. All right, so here is the doc, right? So doc is in here. If I run the doc, well, it actually compiled very quickly. Not just how quickly it compiled. That's actually super cool. And then we have some unused arguments in here and stuff like that. I'm not sure if we need them. I'm really not sure if we need them. On top of just building the tool, we might as well also try to execute this entire thing, right? So this is going to be something like build folder doc, and let's just run it right away. There we go. So as you can see, we rebuild it. It's kind of interesting. So we modified the main build tool. It detected that it rebuilt itself. Then it ran itself with the arguments that rebuild the documentation tool and run the documentation tool. So the whole chain of event actually occurred just to do that, and it's actually quite amazing in my opinion, right? So it's kind of powerful in that regard. What's funny is that you can now try to build like the main nob script with C++, right? And if you try to run that thing, this is not what I wanted. So it started to test everything. Right. It should try to build this entire thing with C++, but for some reason it didn't. Maybe because it rebuilt itself, right? So let me try to do that. I forgot to specify the output. So it actually created a.out. Freaking, yeah, I'm sorry about that, chat. I'm sorry about that, right? So I have to do that. And if I try to run it, one more time, doc. Finally, it compiled document with C++ as well. So depending on what you compile the original build script with, it will try to then compile other subtools with C or C++. So that's basically what's gonna happen in here. But anyway, let's recompile all of that stuff back to C, right? So let's just do back to C, and then I'm going to nob.doc. And there you go. So what we need to do in here, chat, we probably need to read the nob.h, right? So let's try to read the entirety of the thing. Let's define nob implementation. So it includes all of the implementations. So string builder, sb, like so. And let's do read the entire file. Not the entire dir, but entire file. So the file is going to be right now nob.h, even though it would be better to accept that through command line arguments, if you know what I mean, right? So, but for now, I'm going to just hardcode that. If it failed, we're going to just return 1. And let's maybe print maybe a nob log. So file s contains z bytes or whatever, or something like that. So this is going to be an information. Maybe we're going to extract that into input path, const char input path, like so. This is that, and then I'm gonna say input path has sb count amount of bytes, right? So I'm gonna try to run the whole thing, and as you can see, it says that the nob.h has 106,192 bytes. That's a lot of bytes, isn't it? It's a pretty big file. It's a pretty big file, and in reality, it's almost 3,000 lines of code, but it doesn't include the latest changes that I'm currently working on, right? So because there's a whole branch for the next release that I haven't released yet. And as far as I know, this one, and I can't even switch to that unless I stash my current changes, right? Can I just switch to that? It looks like I'm able to switch to that. This one contains like straight up 3,106 lines of code, right? So my nob is growing. Do not clip that out of the context, please, chat. Do not clip that out of this context. So let's actually go back. Now I'm going to what the fuck is this thing? Oh, it's something properly I want to remove. Can I remove that? Yeah, delete unmerged, yes, branch not found. Okay. So there's some sort of a weird branch. I'm trying to delete it, right? So delete unmerged branch, I say yes, and it says the branch cannot be found. I don't know who's at fault, whether it's Git or Magit or whatever, but it is kind of weird, not gonna lie. But anyways, so let me pop my stashes. I popped my stashes, and I'm gonna try to run the doc one more time. Okay, that's pretty cool. So what we want to do in here, chat, we probably want to analyze this entire scheisse by line, right? So let's actually convert this string builder to a string view. Right, so we're going to have a string view of this entire thing, and while sv count is greater than 0, right, so while that's what's happening in here, we need to extract the lines, right? So this is going to be a line, so let's do chop by delimiter, so this is going to be sv, and we're chopping by a new line, right? So we got the new line. So it'll be kind of nice to maybe print that line just to test things out, right? So let's actually surround it with bars or something like that, so we can confirm that it is in fact parsed by line, line by line, line by. There we go. So here is the parsing of the file, line by line, line by line. We can go even further. We can maybe count the amount of lines, right? So line count is going to be equal to 0, right? And every time in here, we're going to do line count plus 1. And then we can easily say something like nob log info. So S contains ZU lines. We can count the amount of lines. So this is the input path, and this is going to be a line count. So this is a line count, and let's try to compile that, and we have a little bit of a compilation error. And lines in unused right now, but as of right now, this is how many lines we have, and that seems to check out. So how are we going to be analyzing all of that stuff? Like what's going to be the format? I want this tool, chat, to be kind of a language agnostic. So essentially what that means, we need to grab some sort of a function. Let's actually start with this specific function. What the tool is supposed to look for, I think it's supposed to look for things like @doc, right? So, and essentially, as soon as it finds this specific pattern, analyzing line by line, right, it's going to remember this prefix, right? It is going to remember this prefix. And then on the next line, it's going to look for that specific prefix. And every consequent line after that is going to be expected to have this prefix. And it's going to be part of the same sort of documentation string. That way, it is completely agnostic to the language, right? So because you can have this kind of stuff in any language, right? So it's just like different styles of comments and stuff like that. So here is the doc. We can specify maybe different kinds of elements that we're currently you know, documenting something like a kind, which is going to be function, right? So this is going to be func. Maybe here we can specify the name of this entire thing, right? So this is the stuff. And we can have like a argument, right? So this is going to be the handler argument, and then we can have a return parameter, which doesn't return anything. So we're not going to have a return parameter, if you know what I mean. So, and I don't know, right? So we can say something like a set the current log handler, set the current log handler. So kind is a function, we already know that. And the handler is like a pointer to the handler, pointer to the handler function, right? To the handler function. So what this thing is supposed to do, it's supposed to find these kind of sort of like a chunks of documentation, parse them, right? And just maybe convert them to a particular format, right? So maybe JSON or something like that. And then you can write like a JavaScript HTML page that grabs this JSON and just lets you search by it or whatever. So description set, we can do a description, right? So maybe something like that. So this is going to be desk, right? So documentation kind, right? So maybe some of the things could be actually, I don't know, compressed together. So this one could be something like func. Right, or maybe, I don't know, so it's kind of hard to tell. It's kind of hard to tell what's going to be the format, so let's actually start maybe using this kind of stuff. And then hopefully it's going to become more clear. Like, I don't really want to make the description like this, right? So because maybe I want to have the description to be like in a markdown format, right? So with having links and stuff like that to refer to some other things. So that's one way to look at it. Anyways, so let's go ahead and in the tool, let's start searching for different things like it. How are we going to be doing this kind of stuff? Maybe there should be some sort of a function, right? There should be some sort of a function, let's call it foo, which is going to accept the line, right? So it is going to accept the line. And I suppose maybe it is going to accept that line by a pointer, right? So because it's going to modify that line to point at the beginning of the docs and stuff like that. So then what it's supposed to return, it's supposed to return the prefix. But honestly, if it doesn't find the @doc thingy, right? If it doesn't find the @doc thingy, we should be able to have some sort of indication of that. Because of that, I feel like it should return a boolean which tells you whether it found the doc or didn't find the doc, and that's and the prefix has to be one of the parameters in here, one of the return values, right? So that's kind of the idea. So we can do something like find doc or find @doc. Is that a good name? I don't know. Let's call it find doc. So as of right now, all of that stuff is unused. So the prefix is also unused. So let's do to do, and it's going to be find the doc. There we go. So how are we going to be doing all of that stuff? So we probably need to maybe do string view prefix, and this is going to be like empty. Find doc. We take a pointer to the line. It is going to modify the line. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes. And it also needs to have some sort of a prefix. If we found this thing, so this is where we have to start consuming each individual line, right? Find dick. Yes, find dick, Angel Cara, find dick. So, but the question is how we're going to be doing all of that stuff. Is that has to be like an inner loop in here, which is kind of similar to this one, right? So it's going to be kind of similar to this one where we take the line, and this is where we have to do something like if, so starts with, right? If the line starts with the prefix, the same prefix that we extracted from the original line, all right? So, and because of that, this line should be probably called something else, line, but called differently, right? So how would we call such line? Let's call it doc line, right? So this is a doc line. If the doc line starts with the doc prefix, this doc prefix, we kind of include it into the whole thing in here, right? So we kind of include it, but I don't really know how we're going to be collecting all of that stuff. So as of right now, maybe we should just print those things, right? So effectively, what we're going to be doing, okay, so we confirm that line does have a doc. So what we need to do something like nob log. Let's put something like this in here, right? They're going to be separated by the bars and stuff like that. So nob log info, and let's print the line in here. So sv.arg, and that's the line. There you go. So then, while this particular doc line still starts with a prefix, we're going to be keep printing that doc line. We're going to be keep printing it. So here is the doc line. But if it's not starts, we have to kind of break out of this entire loop. So maybe because of that, I'm going to do if it doesn't start, break, otherwise print. So that's kind of the idea. All right. So yeah, that's one way to do that. I think that's one way to do that. Let's go ahead and just try to compile that, because I completely confabulated start with. Right, so I don't know if I have this function, right, but this is one of the functions that I need, and I suppose we'll have to implement it at some point. All right, so let me see what we have. Starts with, I feel like nob.h had start with, yeah, so there's a sv starts with. Oh, and it even accepts string view. This is perfect, broskis. This is perfect. So it's a sv starts with, sv starts with a doc line, prefix, and boom. Okay, and now we just need to find the whole thing. Now we just need to find the whole thing. So how are we going to be finding all of that stuff? It's going to be rather interesting. So while I suppose line is greater than 0, right, what we need to do, we need to see if it starts with @doc. Right, so we can do something like string view. So this is doc, and we need to do sv from sister, and this is where we're going to do @doc, right, @doc. If line in its current incarnation is going to be equal to doc, actually start with sv starts with. If it does start with all of that shit, we need to return true. Actually, we need to return true, but on top of that, we also have to specify le prefix. Le prefix, that's what we have to specify. So that means I was thinking that I'm going to be slowly chopping away the line, but it feels like what I have to do instead, I have to have some sort of an index in here. Some sort of an index, and essentially the while loop becomes while I is less than count. So then I have to take the line and I have to take the slice of this entire line, and I'm not even sure if I have an ability to take slices of this entire thing. I feel like there's literally no way to take slices of the string views, which is extremely annoying. I think the only way for us to do that is something like a string view, and this is going to be line slice, right? So this is a line slice, and it starts in terms of data at line data plus that index, right? So essentially, imagine that we have some stuff like I don't know, so the comment and @doc, and we're currently looking at that, and that thing is I, right? So we need to turn that into a string, right? So if we currently point at here, we have to take the line's data and add I, and this is where this entire thing starts. But in terms of count, it is going to be essentially line count minus I, right? And it's totally fine because we know that I is less than count, right? So here I'm going to put a comma, right? So this is going to be just a comma, so line slice. So and what we're checking in here is whether line slice starts with this particular doc, right? So, and if it does start with that, we now need to turn line into that slice, right? So essentially line becomes the line slice, right? So that's true. But in terms of the prefix, prefix should become something interesting. So in terms of data, prefix starts from the data of the line, and in terms of count, it has count equal to I. That's basically what we're doing. So to maintain this symmetry, I kind of want to do something like this, right? So, and it is going to be, I suppose, count, and this is the count. Is that symmetrical, chat? Let me align this entire thing like that. Maybe, can I even do something like this with the arrow? Do you like the code that you see? Do you like the code? Is that a good code? Look how everything is aligned in here. Everything is aligned in here perfectly, including these arrows and stuff like that. It's a good code. So aligned, I'm telling you. So let's also align this entire thing. How about that? Everything is aligned. Right. So, and yeah, that's how we find that, right? And if we didn't find it, I suppose we just return false without modifying anything, right? So we just return false without modifying everything. So I'm looking at my monitor because my monitor here died, because it periodically dies because of the change in the voltage. So, and I have like a view of the stream in here. I already talked about it, so that sometimes when my main monitor dies, I just look in here and I can just like write code like that. So I can kind of like type code without actually looking at it through like OBS. By looking through OBS. To be fair, this is not the ideal solution because near OBS, I also have chat. So I'm forced to look at the chat while I'm writing the code, which is not ideal, as you can understand. But anyways, let's try to run this. Oh, and it fucked. You know why it got fucked? Because we're not updating I. Well, that's understandable. We can actually do for. And this is where we can try to update this entire thing. Which also implies that maybe we can move this I in here. And look at that, we got a for loop. So it kind of worked to some extent. So let me see, let me find le doc. And that fucked up a little bit. That fucked up a little bit because like now I can't have spaces in here. I literally can't have spaces in here, which is kind of sad. But if I remove this kind of stuff, I think it is going to work. Look at that. Right, so here are like different lines and everything. And also it doesn't remove the prefixes, right? So we should probably, yeah, we should remove the prefixes in here. So how are we going to be doing that? So it starts with the prefix. So that means we want to do something like line doc line data plus prefix count. And in terms of the count, it's minus prefix count. So that way it doesn't have the prefixes. In terms of the bar, let's actually move the bar somewhere down there, right? So it separates everything. It separates everything. And now in here, we can do some other things, right? So for example, doc nob get log handler, and it's a kind is a function. Let's actually have description in here. Okay, whatever. So this is going to be description, at least for now. So the exact format, by the way, may change. The exact format may change. So right now we're just developing a general mechanism for putting documentation into the code and extracting documentation from the code. So description basically get the current log handler. The log handler, and there is no arguments, but there is a single return current log handler. Not sure how useful that is. So maybe we can say should never return null, right? But I never thought about it. Like, can you set null in this function? You could, right? So, but do we even handle the case when you can set a null in here? That's an interesting thing. I never thought about it. Right, so in here you said a private variable nob handler. And yeah, we never check whether it's null or not null. Right, so we can set a null in here and it's going to segfold. But one way, if you want to disable all the logging, one thing you could have done is just like a set log handler null, and it will disable all of the logs by just like, you know, if this, only then call this function. But as far as I know, not every platform has null function pointers, so maybe Maybe that's fine. Maybe that's fine for now. And as you can see, we actually extracted 2 of these things. Look at that, meine Freunde, look at that. So we now have 2 docs. What did I tell you at the beginning of the stream? It's easy. Just analyze the text. People quite often overcomplicate this entire thing. Like how much code we wrote. We wrote 47 lines of code. We're already capable of detecting in a language agnostic way that will work with JavaScript, by the way. It doesn't care. We're already able to detect these docs and we're able to extract them, right? So we can maybe introduce some interesting types. So let's actually call it something like doc. And in here, we can maybe have some sort of like a position and whatnot, right? So it's going to be file path and then the line where it is located, right? So where the line is located. And we're going to have some sort of a name, but since we're operating with string views, we probably going to have like a strong view in this string view in here. This is going to be the name and it's going to be this name. So then we can have a kind, but I suppose we're going to have a limited amount of kinds, but I'm not really sure what kind of kinds we want to have. What sort of kinds we want to have, right? Because of that, I'm going to say that the kind is going to be string view as well. So description, right? We're probably going to have a single description. That's fair. So this is the description. So, and then we need to have things like arguments and returns and so on and so forth. So I suppose we're going to have something like args. Right, and what's going to be the args? It's probably going to be a dynamic array of args. All right, so each individual item is going to be an arg, and it's going to be obviously a count and a capacity. A classic dynamic array. So it's going to be struct arg, and what is it going to be? It is going to be a name, right? So obviously string view name, right, and the description, right? So because you also have the description after the name, right? Something like that. So description, look at that. So, and on top of that, well, you also need to have some sort of a return, and also is going to be string view return. And as you parse the entire thing, you're going to have not a single document, but several documents, right? So that means you need to have a dynamic array of the documents. So this is going to be docs, and then you're going to have doc items, size, count, and capacity. Look at that. Size, count, and the capacity. And this is basically the entire sort of data model of this thing. The dynamic array. People are excited every time I do dynamic arrays. I mean, dynamic arrays are everywhere in all the languages. As the Mr. Jonathan Blow himself said, dynamic arrays are the working horse of programming. I think it was him who said that, right? So they are working horse of programming. And that is true, actually. That is true. They're everywhere, and people use them for everything. This looks like TypeScript. Your mom looks like TypeScript because it's bloated. Excuse me. Let's continue. So what we're going to be doing in here is just like every time we encounter this kind of shit, we need to, you know, collect the document. So let's go ahead and do that. We need to have something like docs. Docs. On top of that, what I'm thinking is that we need to have something like line. Right, so do we call it line count? Yeah, it's just called line, nothing particularly special. So this one is called input path, but this thing is called file path. For the sake of consistency, I would love to rename this to file path. Okay, so we have file path, we have line. Oh, right, we already have like a line count in here, which we use in here, fuck all of that stuff. So this is going to be a line. Initially it is 0, then plus line, I suppose somewhere down there. We have line count +1, but I suppose I already removed it. Doesn't matter, chat, doesn't matter. All right, so that's pretty poggers. What I need is that after we detected le prefix, I need to be able to remove le prefix. Can I actually define string view doc line in here and assign the current line to it. So then I can reuse this doc line like that. Can I do that? That's a very interesting question. That's a very interesting question. All right. I feel like there should be like a use case for a do while in here. You know what I'm saying, chat? Some sort of a use case for do while. I think there should be. Because here I sort of like a created doc line. It already kind of removed the prefix. But then here we remove the prefix automatically, which means it's going to be a little bit annoying in the sense that if I try to do the following. Okay, so here is the infinite loop, right? So I'm going to just do an infinite loop. Right, so we fall through this entire thing. And we just print the current doc line because we know that it's already starts with the prefix and so on and so forth. Which means that I feel like find doc should not modify line. Yeah, I think it should not modify line, so let's remove that. The only thing it will do, it will return you true or false and return the prefix. I suppose that's what is it going to do. Can you, okay, so can you go back? So then later, the first thing you probably want to do, is effectively get rid of your prefix. You process the line, then you get the next line. And if it does start with a prefix, right, so you go on the next thing. And this is where you could use do while. You do while, and while it is equal to the prefix, you continue the loop. A rare do while use case. So a very rare do while use case, believe it or not. It's kind of interesting. I suppose this is what it was designed for this kind of situation. Right, because we already checked for something, so we can just fall through into this thing, try one thing one time, and that should be enough. Do while guy, yeah, do while guy. So, and I suppose, okay, we can now check these kind of things, like does it start with different things? What does it start with? If my not Emacs, but my keyboard died, chat. It happened again, okay, so everything's fine. Chat, calm down, everything's fine. If a SV prefix, SV starts with, if our doc line starts with SV from sister doc, what we have to do, we have to strip off the prefix, and yeah, that's what we have to do. I want to have a function, something like a strip prefix. So you have a doc line, you specify this thing, and if it returns true, it also should automatically strip off the prefix. Right, and then in here, what you can do is effectively just doc line SV trim from both of the sides, doc line, and there you go, you got the name. So we probably need to have something like a doc, and we're gonna like a 0 initialize this entire thing, and that doc is going to be doc name, right? So that's what we have in here. So otherwise, if this entire thing, for example, what other things we have for the documents? What other? So here is the doc. So the kind, right? So if it is the kind, what I'm going to be doing in here is just the kind, I suppose. Just the kind. So we're also going to have le description, else if. So let's grab this entire thing. This is going to be the desk. And so this becomes the description. And so the other thing is an argument. Okay, so that's understandable. We're going to have some sort of an argument. but I'm not really sure how exactly we're going to be processing this argument. So this is going to be string view arg, like so, because the argument, it has a name and then the description. So I suppose one thing we'll have to do in here is effectively, so this is the arg string view name, and we do sv chop by le delimiter arg, and the delimiter is going to be space, right? Something like that, I suppose, something like that. So then we can save that name to the argument that you want to add in here. I want to create arg, but the name arg in here is already taken. So I suppose what I have to call it instead is a arg line, which means I have to call this thing arg line, but it enables me to do something like arg.name in here. Okay, and the rest of the stuff, the rest of the arg line has to be the description, so we trim it from both of the sides, and we got the description, we got the full argument in here. Might as well maybe like do something like that. So then now I can take doc args, I'm taking the doc args, and I'm doing da append into the args. Okay, so something like that, right? So we're going to the arguments, we're collecting, and so on and so forth. So no return. How much of an asshole do you have to be to come in the middle of the work, point at unfinished work, and ask, why the work ain't unfinished? Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? I'm in the middle of going through each individual tag one by one and implementing it. I'm in the middle of implementing arg. I haven't finished implementing arg. When I finish implementing arg, I will move on and implement return. Okay, so now when we get that out of the way, the real question is, how many hours of the timeout do you deserve? Chat. Is that 1 hour of a timeout? Or is it 4? You guys think it's 4 hours of the timeout? I'm not sure. I don't think it to be, I want it to be like a day or a week or something. I want it to be like until the next stream. I think, like, you know, don't say anything. Don't say anything until the next stream. Think about your behavior. Think about the behavior. Then come to the next stream. And then maybe, just maybe, we can have a civilized conversation. Or am I having too much hope for these people on Twitch? Am I? Am I being too nice? Maybe, I don't know. Like, I think it's good to be a little bit nice in this sort of like a very hostile world. Okay, so let's be nice. I'm gonna time you out for 4 hours, right? And I'm gonna give you a chance on the next stream. I think that's fair. I think that is fair. There you go. You're welcome. Did it work? I feel like it didn't even work. So let's continue. I think it's fair, yes. So we finished the arc. I think the time has come to implement return. How about that? Isn't that beautiful? It's almost like I'm implementing these things sequentially, right? I'm implementing them sequentially. Anyways, let's go ahead and implement le return. Now, what we're going to be doing in here, so this is going to be the return. And in case of the return, I think it's literally the same as description, right? So it's literally the same as description. Okay, so ret. So in case of an error, we need to obviously log that, right? So we have to say something like printf. So std error, and this is going to be something like d, and this is going to be the error, and we can say something like unknown But I mean, this may happen. I don't know how to say that, right? So couldn't parse doc tag, right? So couldn't parse doc tag, and that's about it. So I think that's what I want to do in here. So file path, and the line is going to be where is this is the line, right? There we go, something like this. Okay, so as we actually start parsing all of that stuff, I suppose one thing we need to do in here is the file path equal to file path, and then the line has to be equal to line. So that's the things we're initializing in here. That's the things we're initializing. So this is a doc line, it falls through, right? So then we take the docs and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's the parsing of a single doc chunk. So that's basically what it is. It's a parsing of a single doc chunk. And after that, what we have to do, we have to append, append that to the docs. This is going to be something like that. And yeah, so that should give us the thing. That should give us the thing. We can now go ahead and DA for each individual doc in here, like so. And what we're going to be doing with them, I'm not quite sure. We can do something like printf, and it is going to be something like d, and we're going to put a name in here, but I suppose it has to be svfmt. This is a new line, and doc is going to be file path, right? So then doc line, and we need to have a description doc, not description, but just a name, right? So I want to put a name in here, svarg, something like svarg. Okay, so let's try to maybe run this entire thing and hope for the best. So line, yeah, so line arrow, line dot, boom, boom. So here we don't have to pass it by the pointer, that's totally fine. Yeah. Line, oh fuck, okay, so this has to be line number then. This has to be line number. And in the doc, it's going to be line number. So this is the line number. Line number. Let's number. Sounds Spanish actually. So this is equals. What else do we have? So as we, okay, so I'm not sure if we have this function. I do not remember if we have this function, chat. Do we have this function? It is relatively easy to implement. No, we don't have it. Okay, so let's go ahead and implement it. So here, find doc, it returns a boolean, sv strip prefix. We accept the sv, this kind of thing, by a pointer obviously, and the prefix. So this is going to be prefix. This one is rather easy. If sv starts with, if it starts with a prefix, you just go ahead and strip it. You just do data plus prefix count count minus prefix count. Let's align everything and return true. Otherwise, Emacs, why the fuck did you jump here? Jesus Christ, broskis. Otherwise, return false. Or we can actually unnest it. So this is going to be return false, like so. Boom. Look at that nice code. Look at that nice code. Anyways, so let's try to compile this and let's go through the rest of the compilation errors. What else do you want, my broskies? So it was saying something about as, and this line, okay, so this one is line number. We're gonna put zu in here. We put in zu, and it's complaining somewhere inside of the macro because I have to take this thing by the pointer. And what else do we have in here? Doc line. This is a line number. Can I spell it properly, please? Okay, so zu, boom, boom. It's almost there. Emacs has a little bit of a trouble properly doing things, right? So line number has to be +1, essentially, I think. Oh, and here is another thing. Line number is not updated in here every time we get the next number. This is fucking annoying, broskies. This is fucking annoying. Okay. What that means is that we probably have to do something like this every time we get a new number. So which also means that maybe we have to have this pointer as like variable like this, and let's just keep it as a while loop in here. Right, so it's gonna be line number. Let's get rid of that. So yeah, so chop by a delimiter, and this is going to be something like this, which means that it's going to automatically be +1 anyway. So that means I can get rid of that +1 in here, I'm pretty sure. Boom. Boom. I think that's poggers, isn't it? Right, so now I can jump between like different things in here. So yeah, we can even maybe put something like doc. Absolute budgeting doc. Let's add more docs in here. How about that? So we're gonna put in here. It's gonna be doc nob.log. It's kind function description or just disk. So log a message using the nob log system. Okay, so argument, this one is rather interesting. So do I want to be able to refer to the types of the arguments, but nonetheless. So argument level, current level of the level of the log message, defined by the type nob log level. It would be kind of cool in the future to actually parse occurrences of these entire things, or maybe put something like this in here, and the system would automatically detect that there is already type like that. So essentially in here I can say, okay, doc nob log level, okay, and its kind is a type, right? And the fact that I kind of like already have it in a system, I can refer to it like that, and in a generated doc it will create like a cross-linking and stuff like that between different types and whatnot. And it's not difficult to implement, and it's all language agnostic. You can do that for like any language. It's sort of like a separate language system on top of the current language. Right. So I think it's kind of cool. I think it is kind of cool actually. So kind type, and it would be kind of maybe cool to even combine doc and kind, in a sense that you just do func, right? You just do func, and for kind type you just do type, and it kind of makes more sense. I don't know. It kind of makes more sense. So this one is going to be func, but this requires like rethinking how we parse this stuff a little bit. Funky, yeah, it's a funky func. Because of that, I feel like what we have to be looking for is not really a specific tag in here, right? So because tag might be different, right? So it could be func or it could be type, right? It could be one of these things, so func or type. So we have to look maybe specifically for ads. We're looking for ads, but maybe there are some languages where add is used actively, and I'm not sure, because it's very easy to have like a false positive in here, if you know what I mean. It is very easy to have false positive. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that. Specifically looking for doc is a little bit better, right? Because it's difficult to have a false positive if you're expecting specifically add doc. So not compatible with LLVM IR. Why is it not compatible? LLVM IR doesn't have comments, or what? Don't quite get it, I'm sorry. Yeah, anyway, so okay, so this is what we have. It's a nob log level, and this is another thing, and this is another thing. You know what I would like to do? I would like to maybe compile the whole thing with, yeah, so I already compiled it with debug information, right? So already compiled with debug information, and in nob.c, what we can do, we can actually append a cmd So I'll put GF2 in here. So this is going to be GF2 electric boogaloo. I'm going to run this whole thing. Let me break at main. Actually, let's put it like that. So doc.c, and I'm going to do asm int 3. Asm int 3. Okay, so implicit declaration of function asm, was it like that? Yeah. So let's run it. And now I want to inspect my docs. So I have 3 docs in here, which is not particularly great. So maybe I can do docs items, and I'm going to dereference this entire thing at docs count, like that. And here are all of the 3 docs that we collected in here. So here's the file path, line, the name of the things, it's a nob log level, the kind, and the description, and all of that is already parsed as the data. And we can maybe even turn that into JSON. It is not difficult to turn this entire shit into JSON, by the way, chat. It's not difficult. We can go ahead and try to do that. What do you guys think? Is that a good idea? So to turn it into JSON, we're going to be using a gem, so which is an immediate JSON serializer, deserializer that I also developed. If you're interested in this kind of things, I'm going to just put it in here. And Excuse me. So I'm going to download this entire thing. Do we have third party? We don't have third party, which is kind of annoying, but it's fine. I'm going to put it in here. So I'm going to just get the whole thing in here. So this is a gem2. And can I remove 2? Yeah, that's totally fine. I'm going to include gem.h, and I'm going to also define gem implementation. All right, this is not what I wanted. I didn't want to download it a second time. I just wanted to rerun my compilation process, nob.h. Okay, so in here, where's GF2? Let's comment out GF2, and yeah, I forgot to remove the breakpoint. Where's my asm? Let's remove that. Boom. Boom. So we're going to be doing all of that. I don't remember how to use gem. I suppose the first thing you have to do, you have to create a gem context, right? So that's basically what you're doing. You create a gem, and there you go. So after that, I think you have to specify gem object begin, something like that. You start the object. Actually, we have an array of those things, don't we? We have an array of those things. So because of that, maybe we have to start l'array. We're starting l'array, we specify this entire thing, and we're ending the array. We're ending the array, so I might as well just, like, you know, wrap it in the scope so it looks something like that. And for each individual doc in here, each individual doc is going to be the object. So this is an object begin, and this is an object end. There we go. So object begin and object end, and for each individual thing in here, we may have something like a gem object member, right? So is it a member key, right? So it has to be a member key, and this is going to be gem, and the key is going to be, in our case, a name, right? So this is going to be a name, and then I have to say that it's a sized string. Yeah, in our case, it is a sized string because it is a string view, right? So this is going to be gem. Then I take the doc file path data, doc file path data, something like that, and this one has to be the count. This one has to be the count. So we're gonna only serialize this small subset. I don't really like how it looks like. It would be kind of better to do it like that, but it's a little bit misleading. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it like this. So after that, as far as I know, in a gem context, we have the sync, which contains all of the data, the serialized data. I don't remember, I think you also do gem begin. So it's kind of important in here to also say, okay, we're starting this entire thing. I feel like it's doing a little bit of a preparation for before like actually serializing things. Oh, it just resets the sync and scope and stuff like that. Okay, it's only needed if you're serializing several things over and over again, right? So we don't really need to do begin, but we do it anyway. So here's the f write. We're gonna write that into std out, and I don't remember how to use f write, chat. I do not remember. So let me see. So this is going to be, yeah, we do gem sync. So this is a gem sync, then gem sync Was it account? I think it is in fact account, and then 1, right? So it's a single big chunk, std out. So we just do f right in here. So as far as I know, inside of the gym, you can also specify pretty printing. Yeah, so there is a pp, which is pretty printing. And essentially what we're going to do in here, we're going to set the pp to 4, and it's going to basically indent the whole JSON with 4. All right, so if I try to run the whole thing, so there's a little bit of a stuff in here. So because this one, request for member data in something not structure union, blah, blah, blah. Because the file name, this is not a file path, this is a name. There we go. There we go. This is a JSON of these things. So we can also specify the kind now, right? So let me put some stuff in here so it's more clear what it is. Member key is going to be kind, and in our case, the kind is something like this, right? So boom. Isn't it poggers? I think it's pretty poggers. Okay. So what else do we have in here? File path, line number. Honestly, in the file documentation, I'm not quite sure how exactly that is useful, but we can keep it in there. Right, so let's actually say something like gym member key, gym file path, right? So this is going to be file path, and string is not really sized. It's something like this. Right, so this is going to be file path. Then we need to have a line number. This is going to be line number, and the line number is going to be, in terms of gym, I don't remember. I think it was, yeah, so it's just an integer. Right, it's just an integer, line number. All right, so here are line numbers and stuff like that. So does gym convert JSON to, you can read what gym does by looking at the repo. It has a serializer and deserializer, and what it does immediate serialization and deserialization, immediate mode style, similar to IMGUI. All right, so what other things do we want to do in here? So line number, name, we already have, kind, description. Okay, so let's introduce description. So let's introduce a description. So this is going to be desk. Boom. Here are the descriptions and stuff like that. What else do we have? Doc. Description. Arguments is very interesting. The arguments is very interesting one. But what's funny is that depending on the kind, you're either going to have this kind of stuff or not going to have. Like types obviously don't need arguments and return, but we kind of still keep them in there. We'll figure it out, I think. We'll figure it out. Okay, so it's going to be gym member key. It's going to be gym. And this is going to be arg. And arg is very interesting because it has to be an array. You have an array of arguments, right? So this is going to be an array, begin and end. And the way we're going to be doing that, we're going to be doing for each of them. So for each arg. And Java types can, in fact, take arguments if you make it a language agnostic. But then return type is the type itself. Return doesn't make sense in that case. But it's okay. So I'm not really sure how exactly we're going to be addressing that, but we'll see. So doc args. Org, and here it is. So for each individual arg, is it going to be an object? I think it should be an object, right? So I feel like it should be an object. This is going to be object begin. This is going to be object end, and we're going to have different keys in here, right? We're going to have different keys, which is essentially name. So string sized, and it's going to be arg name data arg name count. I feel like that's what it has to be. Okay, so let's go to the compilation errors. DA for each, not do for each. Okay, so as you can see in here, do we, oh fuck. All right, so what we need to do, I'm glad I decided to do that, is that I have to I appended that to args. Okay, so but that didn't work apparently. What the fuck is going on? Okay. So, oh yeah, here it is. So there's only one arg for not. Okay, it's fine. It works. It works, chat. It works. To work. I'm being a little bit of a silly. So now we need to have le descripzione. Right. So we need to have le descripzione. Gonna put it like that. Okay. So this is gonna be description or maybe desk. Right. So that's the description. Yeah, there we go. And we just convert it to JSON. So what other things do we need to have? Sometimes you're not gonna have a return value, right? So when it's like not specified, maybe the way we're gonna be addressing that is the following. If doc ret count is greater than 0, if it is greater than 0, only then we're including that as one of the strings. Like if it's not available, just don't include that. So yeah, ret, and this is gonna be ret. Let's see how it's gonna play out. Yeah, so return, yeah, this is gonna be that. Current log handler should return null, and so on and so forth. Yeah, that's roughly how it's gonna go. We can do the same for args, by the way. We can do the same for args, which essentially like if doc args count is greater than 0, only then go ahead and serialize that. If it's not available, do not even include the args, right? So here type doesn't have neither args nor return. So here we have a function which has a return but doesn't have args. This one has args but doesn't have return. So now we have a JSON which we can save to a file, then use somewhere in some sort of like a web application or some sort of a web page. So tool to generate source code from the generation documentation for source code. So the exact details of the format can change, right? So it's very easy to change. It's just like basically how exactly you parse here and how exactly you generate in here. It's just like, you know, change it around and it seems it's going to be fine. So, and we need to now go through a lot of different functions in here and just document them, right? Just basically document them. So this is a kind, maybe this has to be like in num, and then we're gonna have in num nob info. So here we can have a description, specifies the log level of a log message issued by nob log function. Right, so as you can see, we should be able to cross-refer between these things. And then we can have some code that looks at the description and just like parses these specific brackets. And as it finds the names between the brackets, it searches the entire docs database, which is essentially this entire thing, and finds that entry in there and can generate some sort of like a cross-link and whatnot, right? So it should be something like that. So basically here is enumeration, nob info. So the kind is enumeration, that's the description. Nob info could be something like, I don't freaking know. So informational level. Informational level. I don't even know what to say here, like informational warning. Warning level. So when do we even use warning? Do we even use warning? Nob warning in here. Oh, sometimes we do. Copy and stemming is not supported, right? So this is a warning. So there is only a single place where we use warning. Right, so this could be error level. And by the way, no logs level is kind of stupid. So since we introduced log handlers, the easiest way to disable the logs is to just have like a null log handler. I remember we we had like a discussion to introduce a null log handler, but I think I never introduced it, right? So I introduced the default one. Yeah. So error level and no logs level. I really want to deprecate this entire thing, but I'm not really sure how exactly I'm gonna go about that. Right, because since I introduced it, there's probably already code that depends on this kind of shit, right? So that means I need to support it, just in case. Deprecated, by the way, yeah, deprecated would be nice, like some sort of deprecated, but can you deprecate a specific thing? Right, if I want to have a deprecated, I want to have deprecated on the whole entry, right, deprecated, right, and then explanation why it was deprecated, So that's like another field I want to have in here. Deprecated and why it was deprecated. But then if I want to deprecate an individual entry in here, that raises the question, how exactly do I do that? Maybe we should have additional dog entries for these things. So this is a dog, nob.h, and kind is enum item, and then enum I specify what enum it refers to. Log level. Is that a good idea? Right, so and for each of them, like I can also specify the deprecation. It feels like it's a little bit complicated now. Right, enum value or whatever, right? Enum value. It starts to feel a bit complicated, like I don't like how complicated it is. But yeah, so for now I'm gonna just like keep it like this. So kind enum, doc, and whatnot. All right, so I'd like to maybe make a small break, right, so, and make a cup of tea. And after the break, we're going to continue and think how exactly I want to approach that. So I think I should move on to maybe creating an HTML page with all of that shit. All right, so where I can load up that JSON and just like start rendering it on the page and maybe have some sort of a search, right? So where you start typing and it searches by the name and it allows you to just go there. Man page, you mean generating a man page out of that? We could generate a man page out of that. So we can have all sorts of different formats. As soon as we analyze the entirety of the source code, we extracted the database. Now we can generate whatever the fuck we want from that. Are you going to add that to CI for nob? That would be kind of cool, honestly, that on each CI, it extracts the docs, generates HTML, and deploys it to some sort of like a GitHub pages and stuff like that. Do you have gym-like HTML generator? No, I do not have it. But I wanted to actually make it entirely like a front-end application, entirely in JavaScript. Because look, you just have this JSON. You can just implement like a JavaScript application, just grabs this JSON and just renders the page. Like it doesn't have to be in C. And I don't plan to use React, by the way. No. I do not plan to use React. I might as well just directly manipulate the DOM because I don't know, React is designed for Facebook problems and we're not developing Facebook. All right. GreatJS, maybe GreatJS, why not, by the way, speaking of. But for now, maybe I'm gonna start with a document create element as Sputman said, right? So, yeah, so sort of like a jQuery era style of development. So what's cool is that for jQuery style development, you don't need jQuery anymore, at least in the modern browsers, because the modern browsers basically re-implemented the entirety of the jQuery, didn't they? Right, so you don't need jQuery, even if you want to do jQuery style development. Is that true? Is that true? I think it is true. Right, you just like don't need it. Just more, yeah, true. Just more verbose. Just more verbose. But yeah, the style is going to be basically the same. jQuery 4.6 is here. Is it still developed, by the way? jQuery. jQuery. The first thing you have to do when you visit the jQuery website, if you have to hover over this thing, that is the law. That is the fucking, every time you open jQuery website, you must do But I hope they never remove that. This is so stupid, but it's So is it still developed 4.0? So is there like a source code on GitHub? It's like a Crystal website, exactly, Crystal website. So there's a Crystal programming language. Stupid websites, programming language. And it's sort of like a statically typed compiled Ruby. And nice CSS Crystal, by the way. I don't know if we'll be able to see that, but it had a crystal that you could rotate and stuff like that, but I can't open the CSS of the website. It's not even selectable, it's literally an image apparently, but anyway. I tried. Chat, I tried. Yesterday, look at that. So it was updated yesterday, they updated a log file. Fascinating. So what else did they do? What else did they do? Build bump lodash, fix changelog, remove dist files. So it is not actively developed, I see. This is just some sort of like a, I don't know what, like dedupe 3 authors. Do they do any actual work or are they just shuffling files around like this? I guess it is feature complete. Verify, but where is the actual work? Document build? What? Run npm publish on make the set usage portable across. Okay, so is that? I guess it is not developed anymore because they're just like shuffling papers and stuff. I don't see an actual working here, but maybe it's done somewhere else. Anyway, I want to make a small break, chat. I want to make a small break and make a cup of tea. We are back, money from the, we are back. What we need to do, my friend, we need to save that le JSON. Let's go ahead and do that. How do you even save le JSON? We need to invoke a function which is called write entire file. Very simple function. It accepts only 3 arguments: the path to the file, the data, the pointer to the data of the file, and the size of the file. And that is enough. That is enough for it to produce a file, right? That is enough for it to produce a file. Zoomers constantly complain that they don't know how to use computers, how to use file systems. They are not even aware of the file system, but they don't know that to create a file, you only need 3 things: file path, the data, and the size. That's it. So, and you created the file. So how shall we call the file, my friend? So it's going to be called doc.json. And in here, we're going to provide lysync. We're going to provide lysync. So here's the lysync, and then lysync count. And obviously, this entire operation may fail for whatever reason, right? So maybe you don't have permissions, that happens. And if you fail to create a file, we're going to return with non-zero exit code. So on top of that, maybe I'm going to have like output path, output path, const char output path. And I'm going to assign this thing in here. And then I'm going to say that nob log info. I'm going to say that as generated, just generated, maybe let's call it generated as. Extra space, it's annoying me. Okay, so and the S is going to be output path. There you go. Generated doc. Why there's no cancer logger in here? I suppose what I have to do set logger handler cancer logger handler. There you go. Generated doc.json. Let's take a look at the doc.json, and here is the doc.json. How about that? So what we can do in here, I don't know, maybe we can create index.json. Can I now docs Is it called docs? I think it should be called docs, right? I made a little bit of a oopsie doopsie and potentially a fucky wucky, and I called it just doc JSON. Do I want to call it docs or just doc? I'm not sure. I'm conflicted, chat. How should I call it? Should I call it docs or a doc? Okay, I'm gonna call it doc. So, okay, you're not helping. Chat, you're also conflicted. Everyone is conflicted. Okay, so whatever, it's gonna be called docs or doc. How do I load this shit into Node? I think you just do require. You just do require, and this is just like a doc JSON, right? And then you can just console log doc. Okay, and then I do index.js. Holy shit! Chat! I know JavaScript. I've got JSON. How about that? I bet you didn't expect that shit to happen. I've got JSON. Fetch. Well, that's another thing we'll have to do in here. Okay, so this is going to be index.html. I said index.html. Can you just open index.html for me? Thank you. So HTML mode, we're going to be doing HTML. So I don't remember how to do web chat. Chat, I don't want to do web. But I feel like I have to do web, right? So because I need to turn that into a web page. So, and that's all of JS for you. Yeah, that's enough JS for today. Ask LLM. No. LLM is gonna confabulate some bullshit for me. Grecha.js. Well, I mean, yeah, we'll take a look at the Grecha.js. Every time I use LLM, I look at what they generate and I want to fucking kill myself. It's just like, I'm sorry. Maybe the problem is me. I don't fucking know. All the AI shills tell me that the only reason why I don't want to eat shit is because I just have a skill issue. They tell me that eating shit is good, eating shit is progress. If you don't eat shit, you are Luddite. So you have to get up to the times and start eating shit like all of the progressive people or something. This is what I hear every time like AI shills try to sell me anything. Eat the poo-poo, yes, right? Oh, you know, when the calculators came out, everybody also was complaining that they smell, but they ate them anyway. So don't complain, start eating shit now. And it's just like, I don't want to eat shit, it stinks. Calculators stink too. They stink too, you fucking Luddite. Eat shit. This is how the whole conversation sounds to me, honestly. It's just like, I don't want to do that. No, you must eat shit, otherwise the shit bubble is gonna pop. You must eat shit. Okay. So dogs. The shit bubble. Shit bubble is a strong one. Yeah, exactly. You must eat the poo-poo. So we need to include the index. Script slash script. src index.js. And if I try to open this Scheiße in Le Firefox, where is the console? Unquote reference error require is not defined. So we are faced with a problem, chat. You can't just require in the browser. You can't just, and this is where you have to install Webpack, right? So, but I suppose one thing we have to do, maybe we could actually do that as a module, right? So if we, I don't want to do it as a module. Well, yeah, you have to do fetch. Okay, let's try to do fetch. I'm gonna refresh this shit. Oh yeah, course. Of course. I forgot. My blood pressure is already... I only just touched the web a little bit. I just touched it. My blood pressure is already fucking starting right. Of course. Okay. HTTPS server 69. Oh, right. It was because I have to go to localhost 69. Okay. Pending. The state is pending. Okay. So what do I have to do in here? Do I have to await the whole thing? Await is only valid in async function, async generators and modules. Well, all right. So do I have to do async function? Okay, can I just do something like that? I think I can do shit like this. And then I can call it. Is that enough? It's not enough. I probably have to wrap it like that. And I get a response. Okay, so and there is a body. So there, I remember there was like a something like JSON, right? Wasn't it? JSON. Function JSON. You have to call that function, I suppose. Okay. Get async nerd, yeah. Response. Let's call it resp. Yeah. So it's gonna be resp and doc. Oh wait. Doc. Ayo. Chat ayo. I think ayo. We got the data. We got the data. Async JSON parsing. Yeah, exactly. So it has to be, maybe it's doing that in a separate thread to parallelize shit. You already fetched it. Why is it still in async? I have no idea. I have an interesting hypothesis. Maybe, I don't fucking know. Anyways, so for real, I don't fucking know. This is fucking weird. So we're gonna have a diff, and on top of just diff, we have to have an input, right? So is that enough to have an input? Can I just put, holy shit, what the fuck? Aboba. Fetch returns when headers are read. JSON reads the... so they're basically cooperating. So fetch... Just because fetch returned, it doesn't mean it finished fetching the body. So that means JSON parses JSON sort of like progressively as it receives the body. Oh, блядь. Oh, как. Oh, I see. Yeah. Interesting. Spielman is too powerful, right? I'm actually convinced that Spielman is a way better programmer than me. So now, can we, like, how do I detect that some shit has happened in here, chat? How can I detect? So can I have some sort of an ID? So like query line, something like query line, and then in here. If I put some stuff in here, so it's gonna become solid. Alright, so here is the query line. And inside of these inputs, do we have different interesting callbacks? For example, on change. Is there something like on change, for example, in here? I think that's a very interesting thing. So let's actually do something like a query on change. And in here, we're gonna say console log, let's say pew. Okay, so I'm gonna refresh, and oh, I forgot the fat arrow. Okay, so that's fine. I want to actually detect. Okay, so it is incrementing this small counter in here, which is a little bit annoying. So I would love to maybe have something like count, which is 0, and basically log count plus plus every time you update something. So it doesn't do that apparently. So it has to be different. So on input, people say it has to be on input. Okay, I'm gonna believe people, even though they're probably debating me. Oh. So, what that means, chat? How can we get the text that we got in there? So we have something like E. So you need to add event listener. But I already did on input. This should be enough. Okay. So there's nothing in there. So is it something this? Maybe it's actually from this? It's a window. But I suppose we can actually take a query value. Is that a value? Holy shit, it is. We got the string. We got the string. What that means, chat? What that means? We can now iterate for const of docs, like doc of docs. Can we do something like that? Let's call it docs. I want to call it docs. The docs. So let me disable that because I want to see if I... So there is a problem with JavaScript. I can never remember the difference between off and in. I literally can't remember the difference. Like every time I need to use one of those, I literally test them. Okay, so... right, is that... Yes, this is what I want. And in is for... It's for indices, okay. Very intuitive. Thank you. Thank you so much. But anyways... How are we going to be doing all of that? So how are we going to be interpreting the query, the user query? Do we consider that a regular expression? Maybe. Maybe we should consider the regular expression. Yeah. JavaScript rejects. They made in first, then went, oh, it's useless, and introduced off. Classic. Anyways, oh, you can compile a regular expression. Okay. So what you're telling me is that I can do new regx. That's what the clanker tells me. Okay. So, and that gives me a reg. Can I now put reg in here? Is that something I can do? Doc is not defined. Fuck you, little man. Okay, so we're not going to be doing any of that stuff. Okay. All right. Reference reg. It's exp. Okay. Ooh. Can I do shit like that? Aha, блядь. It can fail. What we do? What we do if it fails? We literally have to catch an exception? Try catch. Like, I don't want to do try catch. I just don't want. It's stupid. It's stupid. Okay, catch. How do you use try catch? Okay, so JavaScript try catch. Show me some example. Okay. Opa. Okay, so it's just E. It's not like in Java where you can specify the type of the exception, right? So it's just like, because there's no types. It's a toy scripting language. Anyway, sorry. Types. Yeah. So what we're doing here, by the way, we have to just ignore that, I suppose. Right, so just like, if I can ignore that, we can log it, but apart from that, there's nothing much we can do anyway. There's nothing much we can do anyway. So, yep, yeah, boy. But if we manage to like create a regular expression, how do we match it? Is there? Okay, so let's put it this way. This is a regular expression. Does it have anything? There's a prototype. Sticky. Ooh, sticky. So there should be something like match. Okay, so let's go to this web page. Match. Okay, so this one is interesting. There's a function match, method of string defines. Okay, so you can always, so you have a string and you match a regular expression. Paste. So what we can do, chat, if doc name matches regex, right? We are printing it in here. So console log doc. That's it. That's what we're doing in here. It would be kind of cool to actually, if you found an error in here, color the query with something, if you know what I'm saying. Is it possible? So if I have a query, so does it have like a style? Okay. Background. This is not what I want. Red. Hell yeah. Query style background. Red. And originally, what is it? Query style background. Is it equal to? So essentially, in here, this is what we can do. Okay. Who needs React? Who needs React? Holy shit! It's just like, it's a very reactive application. Look at that. Oh, something. Okay, something bad has happened, but I'm not sure. It's okay. Whatever. Forget everything I said. So anyway. So undetermined syntax or whatever, blah blah blah. Okay. How are we gonna be approaching this entire stuff? I want to start with maybe okay, this is interesting. So it matches everything. But now I want to do nob. What about, it's too annoying, right? So what if I do console log and just put like a bar in here? Karma, yeah. So get, yeah. It's too fast, but it's kind of getting it, right? So I think it is kind of getting it. So we can work with that. The idea is to have something like, let's say, result, which is going to be a dynamic array in JavaScript. It is going to be a dynamic array. So if there is a match for the name, we just do result push the doc. Okay. But maybe we don't even have to have an intermediate array. We can actually just construct it as we go, if you know what I mean. So in the index, we need to have something like result, right? So you have two things, like a result and query, result and query. So, and in here, we can actually do something like console log, and here is the result. Okay, so let me comment it out. I'm going to do that. Here is the result. So inside of the result, I suppose you can result, add, append child. You can append child. Then you can do document, create element, right? So you can create element, and you can specify like a, I don't know, button. Let's create a button. There we go. I created button. So who needs React? Who needs React? Nobody needs React. Fuck React. Anyway, so you can do inner text, I suppose, yeah. But anyway, So the idea is, as we find the match, how do you remove all of the children, by the way? Remove, remove child. Is there any, like, inner HTML, you can just say inner HTML equal to nothing, right? So you can just do something like that. I think that's the way to go in here. So what we're going to be doing is that we're going to start with result, inner HTML, channeling my inner HTML. Just channeling my inner HTML. So, and we're going to have some items in here, right? So this is going to be an item, document, create element, and it's going to be, I don't fucking know, div. Let's create a fucking div, who fucking knows? And it's going to be inner text, and the inner text is going to be the name of this entire thing, right? So this is what it is going to be. And then to the result, we append child like that. Like this, right? And you see on each stroke, it is going to clean the inner HTML. It is doing the cleaning of the HTML, and it requerying it over and over again. So we have 3 items anyway, so it's fine. Chat, it is fine. Don't even worry about that. But anyway, so let's refresh the whole thing. And as you can see, it actually found all 3, but then I can say get. Okay. What about just log? Handler. Who needs React? Bro, for very simple cases, it's fine. It is fine. We can do some interesting thing is that we can have functions, which is basically like a render doc item, right? It's going to accept the doc, right, this specific doc, and it's supposed to give you the element which represents the whole thing. So essentially what this is going to do, it's, it's going to just do this, right? So this is that. And it just returns the item. So vibe rendering React, yes, exactly. And here I can just do render doc item, and I just provide the doc. So iterate the docs. If it matches the regular expression, I append that into here. And now here I can just design the whole thing, right? So I can try to render the whole thing. So inside of this entire stuff, right? So this is more like a top level item. Or maybe it's going to be roots. It's an inner text. It just has a name, but we may have some other stuff. For instance, I don't even know. Like we need to design the whole thing. And this is where React would have been very convenient because you can just use HTML inside of React. But I mean, the only thing we need from React in here is just a template engine. Bringing the whole fucking React for just templating is kind of stupid. Inner HTML, yeah, that's probably true. So let's actually do inner HTML. All right, can we do inner HTML? We can try to do inner HTML. Why not? There's a template tag in HTML, but it might be rabbit hole-ish. Oh, I see. Okay, but people have suggested to just use something like this. So this is going to be div. I wonder if this is a good idea. All right, so this is going to be doc name. And then in here, we're going to have some sort of a le descripzione. So doc desk. So doc desk like this. It can be div. Is that a good idea? All right, let's give it a try. And this one is going to be nob. Oh, all right, that's fair. That's actually a fair thing. So the only problem in here is that we need style, right? So I can do get, and yeah, as you can see here, it's just like it's like that. All right. So this is a div, and inside of it, I would like to specify a class. Can I specify a class? So there's a query class. It's a class list. So, and to the class list, I can maybe push a new thing, or add. So it's not push, it's add. All right. Root class list add. So what's going to be the class? Item? Is that a good name for a class? So is that a good name for a class? I'm not quite sure. Right, so and in here, if we take a look at this, okay, so here is the item, right? It is the item. We can have several of these items, though. Is it possible to match a regular expression without like being case insensitive, if you know what I mean? So is there something about the case, about the match case? So if the G flag is not used, if G flag is used, all results matching the complete will be returned by capturing. Okay. Oh, it's this case. So the regular expression includes the I flag, so that upper lower case difference will be ignored. Okay. But how do I specify the I flag if I'm constructing regular expression like this? So you have to flag in a second argument. Okay. So bookmark, go away. JavaScript flags. Flags. Okay, so here are the flags. But what exactly is the syntax? I want to see the exact syntax. Do I really put like a slash in here? That kind of sounds stupid. Yeah, it is a string. That's kind of important. Okay, so that means I have to put I in here. We figured it out. We figured it out. That's pretty progress. So now we have put nob. It matches all of them. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now, what we need to do, we need to have some sort of a CSS, right? So CSS. How do you include CSS? Okay. HTML includes CSS. CSS. Yeah. Does anybody remember this syntax? Because I always have to Google it up. Like every time I have to Google like style. I mean, it's a bunch of nerds. Okay, style, sure. Freaking. Okay, fine. How do you do classes? I think it's dot, right? So it's just dot, right? Okay, so then it's a padding, and I want to add 10 pixels to the padding. I want to add 10 pixels to the padding, and it's going to be nob. Look at that. How about that? Is it not poggers? I think it is freaking poggers. One thing I would love to do, honestly, one thing I would love to do. Look, if I just refresh the whole thing, it kills the result. It kind of kills the result. So that means what I think I have to do, after I finished loading, I need to do this thing again, right? So let's actually factor it out into a separate function. Perform query, and here we're gonna have a query thing, yeah? Right? The query element. So we don't need E in here, but here we do need this kind of thing. So I'm going to put it like that. Okay, and in here I suppose perform query, and I'm going to specify the query, though maybe this is going to be set to the query because of this kind of stuff, but whatever. So, and one thing I want to do before even setting this entire stuff is just perform it once. So that way, hopefully, when I do something got wrecked, missing before, yeah, I forgot this thing. Okay, all right, that's very cool. Docs is not. Aha, that's a good point. So we also have to specify the docs. Okay, so we have query, we have docs, and we're just like feeding all of them in here. Okay, cool. So nob handler, just nob. So I can refresh and it stays the same. This is exactly what I want, chat. This is, can I just, how do I make it smaller? Ah, here it is. Cool. So what that means I can now modify the CSS, refresh, and it works. Poggers? Poggers? Poggers. Okay, so let's do the other things in here. we can have maybe class something like name, right? So it's going to be class name and class description. So this is all of the things that we may have in here. Depending on the kind, it would be kind of cool to have different, like, I know, icons for this thing. That makes any sense. Let me take a look at the nob and actually doc JSON. So you have name, kind, and description. Right, I'm not really sure how exactly we're gonna go about that, but let's put 10 in here. So here is the 10. So when I have a nested elements, how do I do them? It's an item name. That's how you specify nested. It's basically space between them, right? So it's a nested. Okay, thank you so much. So padding, I would like to do padding bottom. Yeah, so CSS padding bottom. Yeah, so it's through the dash. We can put 10 pixels in here, right? So this is, yeah, there you go. That's more or less interesting. Yeah, so it's padding bottom. It's pretty cool. And now, for specifically item, we can have some sort of a background. Which is going to be black. Right, we can set a black background. There we go. It didn't work, chat. It didn't work. Is it just without quotes? That kind of worked. But it actually merged all of them together, which makes me believe that instead of padding, we have to have margin, or we should have padding in and margin of 10 pixels. Right, maybe margin is gonna be like 20 pixels. There we go. Do something like that. But it's all kind of weird. So maybe the padding has to be top and bottom, right? So maybe let's actually set the padding to top. No, padding is gonna be the same for all of them, right? So the padding is 10 around the whole thing. It's only the margin that is going to be top. Now we're talking. Now we are fucking talking. So that's pretty cool. So anything related to, fuck, it's broke. Oh, it's all related to log. That's fine. I want to find level. Here's the level. Specifies the log level of a log message issued by this. There you go. Isn't that interesting? So this is something that we can try to parse already on a JavaScript level, right? So this is already something for the JavaScript. And how would you even do that? You probably need to have some sort of like a render description. It's interesting how very slowly, very incrementally, you can build up complexity and achieve pretty impressive things, right? I barely know JavaScript. You know that. Like, I'm asking very dumb, stupid question, and look how far we've gone. Isn't that amazing? I think it's kind of fucking cool, isn't it? Right? It's like, just saying. So it's just like you just have to not be afraid of asking stupid questions and saying stupid things. It's just like, it's totally fine. It's kind of part of the process, right? So no React, no AI agents inside, just recreational programming in the moment. Exactly. I have a feeling that people get so attached to AI is because it gives them sort of like this responsibility scapegoat. They get so afraid of being wrong that they kind of offload, like do a mental offload to a separate entity. It's sort of like a, like a therapy dummy, right? So, but if you just not being afraid of doing stupid shit and experimenting, you don't really need that at all. So, fun fact, there's around 96 syntax error in your code, but it still works because web development is vibe coding before vibe coding. Yeah, so it's a thing about web technologies is that they're designed to be extremely fault tolerant, right? Because, yeah, people do all sorts of stupid shit, but yeah, it is fine. Missing some technology, I spent 3 milliseconds auto-inserting them. Exactly. But anyways, render description. So you can specify the description, but to render the description, by the way, what you have to do is, I suppose, is have docs, right? So because you're going to be querying the docs, right? So render docs, and that means you also have to have this kind of docs. It would be kind of cool. It would be kind of cool to actually do something like this. You say render description and do something like that. And if I return an element, it automatically inserts that element like this. But this is not how it works, right? Do I understand correctly? This yeah. But here's the thing. Yeah, I don't fucking know. If render desk return a string, that is true. That is true, but I don't think it is going to return a string, or will it return a string? Template literals. I want to take a look at the JavaScript, or maybe HTML template tag. Maybe this is something that we can use. Outer HTML, yeah. Okay, so it's a CSS template. What about tag? Is there something useful in there? Template tag, okay. So use template to hold some content that will be hidden when page load. Use JavaScript to display it. Okay. All right, that's cool. So this is some sort of a template. Then you get the template, and you get it as an array. Look at that, right? So it's basically you can have several of them. Then you take a content, you clone it, and you just append it. Okay, that is very interesting, actually. So you have a tag, but then if you want to substitute certain things, so you have a template, you query select div, you get an item. So my array, where's my array? Okay. So import elements. Yeah, I see what it does. Right. Does anybody use the template tag? Right. Do we have any professional web devs? Is that a thing that is being used? I think template is just something they adapted because every JavaScript relies on it. Ah, interesting. So they, not really. You never use that in your entire life. Vue.js, what Vue.js? Vue.js uses it heavily. It uses them heavily internally, or like do the Vue.js users even know about existence of template? Like, I'm not sure. It's not used outside of web components, and nobody uses them. I see. I see. That's very cool. So what about Regexp, by the way? Speaking of the devil, Regexp.js. Maybe we can use this framework. Such a stupid GIF, I swear to God. Well, yeah, that's kind of what I want, right? So I want to be able to just like render those things. Yeah, but I don't want to do this router stuff, right? I don't want to do this router stuff. So maybe, yeah, like I want this part in here. As you create some helpers to create elements. Yeah, so essentially, like, this is basically what I'm talking about. So, but these are my helpers in here. So if I had these kind of helpers, how would I create them? So I would essentially say, okay, so this is a div, and inside of the div, by the way, so if I want to have attributes, right? So there are variadics in JavaScript, right? So there are variadics in JavaScript. I can do function div, and if I do ... right? Or maybe something like args. Is that how we do variadics? I forgot, chat. I forgot. So let me find the div. Yeah, so it's ... args, right? And essentially, I can basically construct a new div, right? So this is the element, and as as I iterate the args, so it's essentially const arg of args, I can just, you know, element append child here, and I just return the element. But then I kind of also want to have different attributes in here. That would have been kind of cool. And I can't add additional things after the variadics. All right, I can't do that. But can I put additional stuff before in here? And for example, in here is just like a class list. Yeah. So, and effectively, if you want to create a new div, I would do class list, and in here is going to be obviously item. Then in here, I'm going to have div, which is obviously going to have a class. Class of that, class of something, a class name, right? So it has a class name, and then we can have a text which is a doc name, right? Doc name. So that's the div, and that's another div. So, and the other one is going to be a render description, right? So we probably wanted to have render desk, which accepts doc description and docs. And that should be sufficient. But the question is that a good syntax? This is a little bit clunky. Element attributes, yeah, so something like that, but I'm not really sure about the element. Yeah. So this one is a little bit annoying. Can I just have class? Oh, class is already taken. So, like, I don't like how big it is, but there's nothing much I can do anyway. Kill magic strings. I guess it's fine, right? So I guess it is fine. And in here, so for const C of class list, I want to do element class list add C, something like that. Do you see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Is that a good thing? I think it's kind of interesting. So when I do render description, obviously we're going to be accepting this kind of thing. So this is going to be just the description in the docs. For now, I feel like I'm going to just do div description and just return this kind of thing. And by the way, this one is interesting because, yeah, if this is a string, so type of arg, okay, it is a string. So if it is a string, I actually want to append a text. How would I do that? I remember that Grecia already took the, yeah, there we go. Text node. Okay, so you have to create the text node and then append it like that. Okay. So document create text node with arg, and then you append that to the element. Append child like that. Otherwise, you just append this thing as is. You can just do append instead of append child. So append will automatically do the thing that I want, right? So if it's a string, it's gonna, okay, so it automatically does that, right? Do I understand that correctly? But anyways, okay, let's see if it's going to work. So missing at line 19, something is missing. I forgot a comma. All right, so what does it say? Class list is undefined. This is a good point. So what we have to do is we have to check if class list is not equal undefined. Is that a good way to check for something undefined? Or what I have to do type of undefined. So they have to do with type of or not with type of, or can I just compare it? I don't know. Or maybe not class list. Yeah. So maybe I can do class list. But what if it's just empty? No. Wait, chat. If this. Yeah. So it can be empty. So it's better to do something like undefined. Right, if it's not equal undefined, we'll just do it like that. it defaults to empty. No, it doesn't. So I don't know. Not equal undefined. Yeah, I think not equal undefined is okay. There we go. Level. So this one didn't work. I'm surprised why though, because it's supposed to return. Yeah, I know. Yeah, there we go. So now nob, and that works. So we created a thing to render like DOMs and stuff. Like, yeah, we only need a single thing in here, which is like div. Let's create a tag, and it's gonna be name. All right, so and the div is gonna be, so this is a tag, div, and this is gonna be div. All right, we're getting somewhere. This should have been like a part of the browser environment. I just poured some water. I just poured some water. It's fine, chat. Everything's fine. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and continue. So description, like how we're going to be doing the description. This one is interesting, actually. We probably need to iterate the description. Hydration is important. Yes, hydration is important. Though this one is kind of annoying, I suppose we have to do it like this. Const item or element, and we just do it like that. So we're creating a new one, and then we have to, I don't fucking know. If you have some shit, hello, foo, bar. So how do you do that? You, I suppose, split by this thing. Is there any way to split a string? So split this. Yeah. Do we have several of these things? Yeah, it's split by each of them, right? It splits by each of them. I want to split only one, but maybe there is some stuff like find index of. All right, so we're gonna start with the index of this thing. So it gives you 6. Can you see what I'm doing, by the way? Yeah. All right, so you found this stuff. You found this stuff, and this is how we can react to that as well. Index of, this is the index of, and you just find the index, and if the index is greater or equal than 0, what you have to do, you have to slice the string. Regular expression match, is that a good idea to do a regular expression match? What if you have several of these things? But at the same time, no, I don't think it's going to work for me. No, I don't think it's going to work. So anyways, so how do I slice a string? Is there something like a slice? There is, and what I have to do is just 6. Okay. So I start from 0, and this is 6. Okay, that's perfect. So what that means, I can do slice from 0 up until the index, and that's the first sort of like element that I want to add in there, which means that I can do element append, and that appends like a string text node, right? So it appends a text node. Then after that, what I need to do, I probably need to create think like the rest of the text, right? So I'm starting from 6 without specifying, and yeah, so I have to do 6 plus 1. All right, that makes sense. So what that means, description becomes description slice index plus 1. Okay. And in here, here's the interesting thing. I have to take the description after that, and I need to find the index of an opposing thing, right? So of this one, and this is 3. All right, index of the closing thing. So I'm just like processing it in batches, right? So I'm processing it in batches. And I may not find it, right? And in that case, if I didn't find it, that's a sort of like a mistake, right? It's a sort of mistake that I have to live with. And I don't know what I want to do in here. Do I reassign it back to the index? And in here, if index is less than 0, I have no idea what to do in that case. So it's a syntactical error. And I suppose we just have to drop the syntax. So I'm gonna just like throw an exception to do something about the syntax error. I'll think about that a little bit later, right? I think about it a little bit later, but for now we assume that everything is going to be fine. So this is 3, right? So we found the 3, which means that I can do 0 slice 0 3, and that gives me the name, right? So slice 0 3, and that's basically the name, and I can do a very cool thing. I can create a tag out of that. The tag is going to be A, no attributes, but internal text is going to be this thing, and this is what I want to append to this entire stuff, right? I'm appending that to this entire stuff, and afterwards I have to do description slice index plus 1. There we go. So that's just processing of a single thing in here. But another thing is that if index was negative, that means we didn't find anything in the description, and we can just append the description as is. Yeah, we just append the description as is, and I suppose we can set the description to empty, so then we can do a very interesting loop. While description length, right? So the strings have length of some sort. So length, while description length is greater than 0, while you have something, just keep doing that over and over again. See what I'm saying? So you're trying to find an opening thing in here, you didn't find it, right? So you append the whole thing and you finish the whole process. You found something, you slice it, you add the thing, then you find the opposite thing, you add a tag, and just like parse the whole thing. So it doesn't allow you to have nested links like that, but that's totally fine, like you don't need them anyway. Right, that's sort of like what I'm trying to achieve in here. A little bit stupid, but it is what it is. And the next thing after that, we have to return the element that we constructed. Kind of worked, but not really. Yeah, so that was interesting. So 3, I'm sorry, this has to be index. Yeah, there we go. So it automatically detected that. It detected that as a link. So, and here we can do href, something like this. So it does, oh shit. Missing after, ooh. Yeah, can we, so this is a class list. Maybe we can do href. So if I'm gonna have a bunch of attributes, oh, yeah. So this is not something that I want to do. So I have to rethink my attributes. So obviously I have to accept attributes as this, but I'm not sure how to iterate all of them. So here is that stuff, and there was an attribute method. Oh, there we go. Okay, so you can just set attributes like that. So maybe this is what we want to do in here. Name and value. Okay. So for attr s, for const attr of attrs. And this one is interesting. So this is one of the rare moments I have to use in, and this is basically name. So then I can do element set attribute name and then atrs name. Okay, I guess that's what we have to do. Time to bust out the... Nah, really, we solved it, didn't we? I think we solved it. It's fine. Chat is fine. It's fine. Right, so here's the href. Key value, is it? Oh, this is too complicated. I mean, it's just like in is fine. This one is a little bit more readable in my opinion. I think it is a little bit more readable. But anyways, oh shit, we fucked up. Okay, so can I just do console class list? Okay, so class list is not a thing that is. So what I have to do is class. Is that what I have to do now to have a proper? This is probably what I have to do. Class, right? So yeah, okay. Oh, we can live with that. That's fine. That's fine. All right. So as you can see there, we can now render this kind of stuff. Furthermore, we can only render those things if we found them. You see what I'm saying? And it's just like you can now iterate docs, const doc of docs, and if you found doc name that is equal to this thing, right? So this is some sort of a name, const name, like that. And if it's equal to that, only then you kind of creating this entire thing, right? So, so we just like append it like this, and we break out of the loop. Interestingly, then if we didn't find it, can we have something like found false? And this is going to be found true. Found. If we didn't find it, we can just append it as is. So essentially, element append name without making a link out of that. Oh fuck, shit, fuck, damn. So docs is undefined. Oh, for real. Render description. Render doc item. Toy scripting language, I swear to God. Freaking toy scripting. Okay, so as you can see, it works. But if we didn't have log, nob log, right? Index, so doc.js, let's say, let's put a boba in here. It is not rendered, it was not found, but nob log found, right? So, and you should be able to switch there, which means that we need separate pages for different things, right? So, which means we have to do something like that, but I'm not sure. And yeah, so that's the basic idea, right? That's the basic idea of the whole thing. And what that means is that now I can maybe do other things. For example, I can do doc, all right, and this is a make directory if not exist, and the kind of this is a function. The description is that create a directory if it doesn't exist, does not exist. If it does exist, do nothing. The argument path is the path to the directory. Return true on success and false on error. Okay, so we can even put something like that, false on error. The exact error is logged with nob logged. All right, so then we do nob doc refresh. There you go. And if you want to find it, make dir. Okay, so here it is. Create a directory if it doesn't exist. No React, no anything, bro. It's just C and JavaScript. Seriously, you guys are overcomplicating it. Like, I just proved to you that you're fucking overcomplicating this shit. And you can now deploy that to GitHub pages or whatever. Like, it's literally 2 files. It's not hard. You just keep iterating on this thing, and maybe you just do more design and whatnot. But yeah, so it's just that. So nob, and it's relatively fast, I'll tell you. So if it becomes kind of slow due to too many functions or whatever, you can also apply different optimizations. For example, you can only show first n elements of the result, right? So you don't have to show everything on the first n. And since you're not dealing with the framework, you can just directly ask the browser do the thing you want to do, and don't try to fight with the framework. Like, every time I use the frameworks, my main problem is that instead of just doing the thing I need to do, I'm just fighting with the framework, right? It's sort of like these guardrails. If you're trying to diverge from them, like, it becomes insanely difficult, and frameworks like resist you doing that. So, but in here you have a direct access for everything, and you don't have to worry about any of that. So, so maybe render all the docs once and make the search return on the links to different divs with IDs. Maybe. It just depends. Like, I need to experiment with different things in here. So it does nothing. So it doesn't really render the, the arguments, right? So we need to do something to render the arguments. Let me see. So if I'm rendering, so here is the doc item. Okay, that is cool. So we got this name, and this is the description, and this is basically element, which we return. Just return the element. Just return the element. And now, if doc, for example, has args, right? So if it's not equal to undefined, we may try to start iterating the args. This is not what I want. For arg of doc args. And for each arg, let's just do something like JSON. So where's that? So there's a name and description. Yep. So we didn't even utilize file path and line number, by the way. We can try to do that. There is nothing that stops us from querying nob.h directly, and maybe just, colorizing it and letting you jump to specific, lines and whatnot. Should be type 4x. Yeah, there should be type 4x. I agree with that. It's just like it needs to be implemented. So element append, and this is going to be a tag. It's going to be just a div. Maybe in here, right? If this thing exists, element append tag div, and what's that? So what we have to say in here is maybe args. What am I doing? Arguments. Yeah. So this is the arguments, and in here we just do that. But it's honestly have to be like a U list, or yeah. So it has to be UL. I feel like, yeah, it's a list. So what we need to do is to have something like list. So this is the list UL. Then as I'm iterating arguments, I'm appending to that list tag li with an argument's name. All right, so I'm just appending that to each individual thing, and then to the element. Yeah, so then in here, element append that list. I might as well even call it UL, because why not? So when we kind of like dynamically slowly rendering the whole thing. Yep. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Level, path. Some of these don't have that. So this particular args is kind of weird. What if we just don't have that? Yeah. So, and in here, arg name, we may maybe do something like that, where you have arg description. Oh, and by the way, description, let's, so when I'm rendering, yeah, so, and it gives me the desk, which is not exactly what I want. So it uses div in here, right? It uses specifically div, but what I want to do, yeah, I feel like I have to accept element in here into which I'm going to be pushing things. So that's what I have to do. Yeah. So this is what I do. And every time I do a render desk, yeah, so this is the desk. And I need to create another tag. So which is going to be... Honestly, I can return it. Who said I can't return it? So this is going to be... Oh, shit. Can I go back to where it was, please? Yeah. So this is that, then render dex, and then I do tag. I hate that it indents it like that. That's kind of stupid, but I can't do anything about that. Yeah, so it's that's why it does that. All right. So essentially, I create a tag into which it is going to render itself, and then this thing should also return this element back. So that's going to be the idea that I have in here. So that way, if I'm going to be reusing a render description, right? If we're going to be reusing, I have a freedom to do things. The way I'm going to be doing that, so here is that. Here is the lead tag. I pre-rendered this part, and then I render description into this thing. The description is arg description, and the database of all these things is here. And it also automatically returns that stuff, which means I can maybe feed it in here. Something like that, you see? So, yeah, because it's going to continue pushing stuff into that element, if that makes any sense. And it effectively rendered this thing. So we can reuse a function that is responsible for rendering the descriptions and cross-linking things and stuff like that. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? That's kind of cool. So as somebody said, we can maybe just pre-render all of these things and have additional view in here that gives us links, like anchor links back into all of these things, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of stuff we can do in here. It's just like you need to iterate upon it. So yeah, I'm already streaming for almost 3 hours, and I suppose that is time for me to go. So that was fun. So I'll continue working on it, and I hope to integrate it then, and maybe also deploy it to GitHub pages. So would the anchor link change the search term? I don't know. It's sort of like a details that I need to figure out. My goal was to just set up the whole sort of like approximation of what I want, right? So I just like outlined the idea, but specific details, I just have to try things to figure them out. You see, like I don't know exactly how I want to go about it, but I have an environment where I can just iterate now. Right. All right, so that was fun. I didn't expect that it's going to be fun. So I thought like if I'm going to touch in JavaScript, it's going to be actually very painful, but it was all right. It was a little bit painful, but it wasn't that bad. So I guess that's it for today. Thanks everyone who's watching right now. Really appreciate it. Have a good one, and I see you all on the next recreation programming session with Mr. Azuzin. I love you. Mwah.